Good morning, Rabbi Isai. We have a tremendous amount of choshev guests. We'll start with the father and son. What's your name again?
Shimon Lefkowitz.
From New York. Brooklyn, New York.
I think this is right.
You're a son.
Son.
Moshe.
Yes.
Valdik. Father and son. History. Father on this side, son on this side, in the hot seats. Who else do we have? What's your name? Also father and son? Another father and son team. Gershon. Let's see. Oh, look at the camera worker. Boys, I check this out. Guy's not bad. So again, what's the name?
Uzi Halpert.
Uzi, and don't say your father's name. Father, what's your name?
Dami Halpert from Borough Park.
Also from Borough Park.
He's from Lakewood.
You're in Lakewood. Now you live in Lakewood. You're a Borough Parker. Where in Brooklyn do you live?
Flatbush.
Borough Park and Flatbush. Everything else is out of town, you should know. Those are the two in-town places. You're Masim. You married somebody from Borough Park. The rest of the world. What's your name?
Shimi.
I thought I saw you here once. You're from? London. Shum Aleichem from London. Who else do we have? No? Nobody? Gewaldig.
Yeah,
oh, that's right. What's your name?
Rabbi Waldman from Nachlaot.
Rabbi Waldman from Nachlaot. Shkoyach. Shkoyach for coming. Okay. Who else? You got another one?
Another son.
He's hiding over there. What's your name, Tzaddik? I know it's not Moshe. Shua. Gewaldig. So you just came because your father told you to come. Gewaldig. I just wanted to show you real quickly. We have a Pardes HaChodesh. I'm not going to show this. This is the only time, but for 4 months, TCS Telecom for the Hebrew shares. It's already here. This is a surprise for Avi. Avi Kamiansky's son, Zevi, married guy, on the plane, steiging away. Yosef Kletskin, he was in the Alps, and he's learning Torah. You can see people with talis, tefillin. Austrian Alps, he says. Mordi. So we have a choshev bacher that used to come every single day. His name is Shlomo Forcham. And Shlomo wrote me a whole long email. I'm not going to read the whole thing. He's the only one I ever gave a tablet to because I felt bad for him. He used to come every single day, and he went to yeshiva in Haifa, and over there he couldn't do the daf. And his Rosh Yeshiva called me up and he said, "I'm going to let this guy do the daf if he has a tablet. Get him a tablet." So I gave him a tablet. So he says, basically, his friend Mati Cohen started with Masechta Shevuos, already 30-something daf into the Masechta. And he wants to tell me that his friend said, we're going to the beach on Erev Shabbos. So he said, we first have to finish the daf. So they finished the daf, and they go to the beach, and they started drowning. Him and Mati started drowning, and he said goodbye to his friend. The whole long Maisa here, he's holding on to him, and he said, that's it, he's out. But somehow, they were under the water, and he swallowed a lot of water, and he doesn't know how to swim, and some kitzer, a jet ski came and pulled him out. So he says he doesn't know the cheshbonos and shemayim, but maybe it's because he finished the daf before he went to the beach and he decided to do the daf. Shlomo Forcham and Mati Cohen. Shlomo started from Tainus and Mati from Shevuos. Once again, Rabbi Isai, just to show you, last night we were in the middle of a shir and we got a warning. You get a 3-minute warning that soon there's going to be sirens in all of Eretz Yisrael. So here we are. This is all of Eretz Yisrael. All these people got a siren besides this Beis Medrash. Even down the block there was a siren. Here in the Beis Medrash there was no siren. In the middle of the shir, so it's unbelievable what's going on in the Hebrew shir. We have 12 locations. And in the middle of shir, we go in and we visit all 12 locations. Last night we had 8 on the screen, and it says their name in large. So we're talking to this guy. In one location, Modi'in Elit had 1 person there. But the rest had a nice amount. And here they are in Bnei Brak. They had to run out in the middle of the shir. We went to their location. We saw the table is empty. And then they sent us a picture, but they were learning in the stairwell or whatever it is. Here it is. Look at this.
Awesome.
It's Givaldi. Look at this Rechasim place. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 people there. And here's Modi'in Elit, the guy all by himself. Yeah. Okay, Givaldik. It's a start. We just started like 2-3 weeks ago, and it's mamish. It's still going, and it's knocking. Rabbi Yisai, welcome back. I know Mark Ashkenazi just texted me right before he said, we just made Havdalah. So like we've been in Matzah Yontiv already for who knows how long. It seems like ages. I wrote it to him, Baruch Shelo Yosani Chutznik. It's like one of the things of living here. You guys, what? You had 2-day Yontiv, huh? Shema. Yeah.
That's what we tell him.
Try to convince yourself, especially seeing all the Israelis going on the bus, Bimachal Yontiv, and you're sitting there. I know. Very good, Shema. Mesech sponsored by Anonymous, Hatzlacha, bruchnius, monthly sponsors ActualEyes in honor of David, Merkin of Eastern Union, all the Silver Spring daffers, Eli Dyckman for the Refuah Shleima of Tinok ben Rivka. Anonymous in honor of Mark Ashkenazi. This is the weekly sponsors. I wanted to donate Gemaras, but this is the first link I see. Rabbi Yisai, less than 15 days left to Shevuos, to Avodah Zarah. There's only 15 days left to Shevuos. We're starting Avodah Zarah. Chaparain. I don't know if there's any Gemaras left for the Hebrew, but you could definitely donate for the English. We're looking for at least 1,000 Gemaras. Change people's lives. And if not, at least bring people to the daf. Anonymous, in honor of Reb Eli and his family and the whole MDY staff to continue to spread Torah. Shkoyach. Daily sponsors, Anonymous, Refuah Shleima, Anat Simcha, having surgery this morning. Appreciation for Reb Eli. Thank you. MDY Kids Monthly, Kidnovations, Zechus for Fishel, Elchanan, Akiva, Rivky, and Mrs. Stefansky. Art of the month. Refuah Shleima for Yehonatn, Eitan ben Besheva, bracha. Zechus for Reb Eli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable, so many. In honor of Isaac Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Givaldik said that only took about a minute. Okay, it's not the end of the world. The boy said, here's the shiloh. Today we have DNA evidence. How do we view DNA evidence in halacha? How do we view? You hear the question? Can we use DNA evidence
For what issue?
for mamzeros, for aguna? Let's say we found a DNA swab and we know the guy. This might be her husband. He's dead. Could she remarry? How do we view DNA evidence? Rabbi Shomberg, you're smiling. What, did you write about this in this week's thing? Really?
Not this week.
Not this week.
About
Okay. 3 years ago. So I definitely don't remember. Yuvamis. So we're going to see that according to a lot of the poskim today, DNA evidence is very, very strong and we can use it for many things. This is the sugya, a little bit of the sugya that we're going to have today about umdana demuchach, something that's very, very obvious. What about the polygraph, lie detector? Not so much. But you see that the Goyish courts, they do believe in DNA. They release people from jail based on the DNA. No? They have, it helps murder cases as well, all sorts of cases. Because it's so strong, it's in the high 90s, whatever the percentage is.
In the system, it's more reliable than eyewitnesses.
In the system, says our in-house attorney who does litigation, what do you do? What is it called? Litigation. Says it's more reliable in the American system. It's more reliable than eyewitnesses.
Yeah, eyewitnesses are dafka not so reliable.
Right.
So,
Even two of them that saw it together.
correct. Even two of them don't.
Do they ever have that in the? Eyewitnesses are not so reliable. They're not so samichanit. By the way, we also don't rely on those witnesses. That's a big sherim. Not joking. Some guy, drunk guy, says, "Oh, I saw shkoyach." What?
And halacha use it in combination with other simon.
In combination with other simon. Okay. So just to remind the olam, it's kedai to get a grab at it. You don't have to, but this is what we're going to be doing tonight. Yesterday we asked the question: Shevuos eidos. Two people witnessed something. The litigant, the toiveya, the guy, the baldover, he wants the two witnesses to testify. He asked them to testify, and they refuse to testify. They say they don't know. So they're over on Shevuos eidos. The Gemara tells us this is only in a monetary case. In other cases, they're not over. It only has to do with money. How do we know that? So there's 4 reasons. Yesterday we did 3. Today we're going to do the 4th. Yesterday we had Reb Eli that says oyin. Remember the oyin?
Double O's.
The double O's. Reb Akiva says, it says la'achas meila. And basically what we're going to do today is go back on all these things. So I'm going to show you what ayin is and what achas meila is, and just quick review. We're going to go a little bit deeper into each one. Akiva says, it says in the pasuk, le'achas, only to one. So you got to pick. It's either mamanis or something else. It's only mamanis, only le'achas, only one of these things. The obvious question is, it doesn't say mamanis, so maybe le'achas means only for ritzicha, Shevuos Eidos exists, not for mammon. Who told Reb Akiva? So the Gemara is going to talk about that. This is how we finished off. It says in the pasuk of Shevuos Eidos, oy ra'a, oy yada. Either or. Either he saw with his eyes, or he knows about something. They either know or they saw. It says Reb Eli, that only applies in mamanis. In mamanis, if we witnessed money going from one to the other, we could come and testify that we saw somebody give money. Now, it's possible that he was repaying a loan. It was possible that he was buying something. It was possible that he was his messenger. But since the other guy denies it completely, and we witnessed money going from him to him, so we believe that guy that it was a loan. That only applies by mamanis. You can't have, let's say, a case of ritzicha where they witnessed something. They saw a guy kill somebody, but they don't know what they saw. Maybe it was a chayal killing an Arab. Maybe he was killing a terrorist. If you don't have a yediyah, you can't testify about it. You can't be mechayev misa. And if there's a yediyah without seeing, you can't. There's no such thing. You can't testify in court that you know that so and so killed, but you didn't see with your own eyes. Even if you know, but you didn't see. So oyra yoda, that option of either or could only apply in mamanis. And finally, now we're going to talk about Reb Shimon. Super interesting. He starts off with a mematzinu. He moves on to Akava Chaimer, and then he goes to Gzer Shava. Mamish, all three limudim. So again, what are we trying to find out here? How do you know that Shevuos Eidos applies only in monetary cases and not in anything else? So holding like 5-6 lines from the bottom of Lamed Gimel Amud Beis. Rebbe Shimon Oimer, Chiev kan v'chiev v'pikodan. The Torah says that you're chayev by Shevuos Eidos, and the Torah says you're chayev a korban by a pikodan. What's a pikodan? That I asked you to watch my item. Items are mamanis. Mala alon. So this is a mematzinu, a binyanav, a mematzinu. Mala alon in medaber b'tfias moment. Just like by pikodan, it's referring to a monetary case. You watch my dog, you watch my goldfish, and made it into gefilte fish. Whatever it is, you watch my mamanis. Afkan in medaber elo b'tfias moment. It's a simple limud. You see, by pikodim we're talking about mamanis, so too by Shevuos Eidos you're talking about mamanis. Void, in addition to that, I say, kavachomer. I have a simple kavachomer. Ma pikodim shasa by noshim ka'anoshim kroivim k'rechoikim psulim kiksherim. Only by Shevuos Eidos we make a distinction. Why? By Shevuos Eidos it's a testimony. It's Eidos, Shevuos Eidos. So you have to be kosher Eidos. So you can't be a woman, you can't be a relative, you can't be apostle. You can't be a ganav. You can't be a Mesach B'Kubyo. So that's the Kavachomer. By Pikadon, you could be a Karev Kirachot. You could be apostle. And you say, I swear I don't have your goldfish. That's it, you're over. Noshim Ka'anoshim, you could be a woman. Kroivim K'Rechoikim Psulim K'Sheir. As we discussed yesterday, that if a person swears 5 times in front of Bezdin, by Shevuos Eidos, he's only chayev 1, because it's Eidos. What does Eidos mean? He testified that this is what happened. I don't know Eidos. So once you testify, you're locked out. You can't testify again. So all the five Shevuos only equal 1. But by a pikadon top of Lamed Aleph, he's chayev al kol achas v'achas, even b'fnei bezin. You're chayev a shvur for each and every. If you deny it again and again, I don't have your goldfish. I swear I don't have your goldfish. I swear I don't have your goldfish. It's 5 shvurs. You're chayev. Certainly shalei b'fnei bezin. Any medaber, and over there, here's the kavachomer. Over there, by pikadon, any medaber with v'yas mama, and it's only a monetary thing. Eidu shalei asva nashim k'haloshim kroim g'rechoikim psum k'ksheir. By Shevuos Eidos, where we're more makpid, you can't be a relative, you can't be a apostle, you can't be a woman, and you can only swear once in front of Bezin, not 5 times. And certainly, the Torah is only talking about a monetary obligation. So the Gemara asks a question here, and it's kedai to remember this question, because in Eretz Yisrael they made fun of this. They made a chayzik. They said, doesn't know what he's talking about. At the end, the Gemara is going to discuss what was so funny, and the Gemara can't figure it out. But there's such a thing. So the Gemara says, Mali Pekada in Shekain Li also by Mushbak Nishba. In Shevuos Eidos, there's a concept where the guy that was in a car accident, he demands that you come and testify for him. He sets you up for the Shevuah. He asks you, could you, I know that you know Eidos, and you say, I don't know Eidos. That's how it works. You say, I don't know Eidos, or you could say, Amen. The difference between the two, what's the difference between if you say Amen or you say, I don't know Eidos? One is Mepi Atzmai. When you say Amen, it's as if you yourself said the Shevuah. The other one is Mepi Acherim. But there's such a thing called Mepi Acherim by Shevuos Eidos. Masha'en Kain by Shevuos HaPikadon, we don't have Mepi Acherim. It's only Mepi Atzmai. That's one difference. That's why you can't make a Kav HaChaymer. Mali Pikadon Shekein Lo Yatzmai Mushbak Nishba. Umezik HaShaygig. By Shevuos Eidos, you have Mezid. If I deliberately don't say my Eidos, I know that I have Eidos, I don't want to say it, I have to bring a carbon. Tomer be'Eidos. Mushbak Nishba Umezik HaShaygig. Tomer be'Eidos Shekein Ozba Mushbak Nishba Umezik HaShaygig. So Shevuos HaPikadon is different. Okay? Says Gemara. Says Reb Shimon. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my third limud. Talmud loymar techta techta. Here it is. It says by Shevuos Eidos. It says v'nefesh kisechta v'shem kol olav v'oid oira yoda. Here's the oira yoda. That's by Shevuos Eidos. And then it says by pikadon nefesh kisechta u'mal b'pikadon. So we have a gzera shava. It says the same word over here, same word over there. So just like nemer kan techta v'nemer alon techta, mal alon in medabel b'tvias mamayin. Just like by pikadon. Yeah, this is the third time we're saying, but by pikadon, he's talking about a monetary case. Afkan in medaber elo b'tvias mamayin. Great. Masvula Rabbi Barulo. Now we're going back to the list. Okay, so now we're going to take care of this list one by one. We're done with Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon's all the way in the bottom. We saw he started out with a Memetzinu. We went to Kav HaChaymer. We had a Pircha on the Kav HaChaymer. Then we had a Gzera Shava Techta Techta. We learned Shevuos Eidos from Pikadon. Now we're going to go to the top. Reb Eliezer says Oyin. What's the Oyin? It says Oy Ra'a Oy Yoda. It says that by Shevuos Eidos. It says by Pikadon Bipikadon Oy B'tzumas Yod Oy B'gezel. So we have Oy Oy. Masvula Barula. Oy Oy. By the way, we sang this last night. You guys, you don't have to sing it. I told them this is a song. Does anybody know what song this is? Yeah. What's Oy?
No, Mandy.
Oy Oy Shabbos. Oy Oy Shabbos. He likes it. Okay, good.
It's like the Kippur story.
All my stories are the Yom Kippur story. You're just going to chop one day. Okay. The oilam is so wept out in the morning before the coffee. Mazal Rabbi Barula. Such a murdik song. Oh, here, the Israelis here. It's from the Hebrews here. Oy oy bitu, oy oy bit. So the Gemara says.
That sums it up.
Who's Rabbi Einhorn? Arois. So the Gemara says, "Make taste to learn Shevuos Eidos from Pikadon." I have something else. By bitui levate b'sosayim. It also says oyoy. And what's a bitui? We had half the Masechta talking about bitui. What kind of Shevuah is bitui? Bitui is any Shevuah. It has nothing to do with money. Shevuah, then I'm not going to eat a loaf of bread. Why is that money? Stam, I'm going to do jumping jacks. It's not money. So says the Gemara, and what's enough community if I learn from here? I don't have to, Shevuos Eidos doesn't have to be only money. It could be anything. Oy oy bitu yechichu. So if you recall yesterday we said that we had the same question. We had the question, maybe oy oy to Ritzicha, maybe oy oy to Soita. And we said Ritzicha, no, why? Because Ritzicha is not a Shevuah. But Soita is a Shevuah. The Kohen, so the Gemara says, oh, over there it has a Kohen. We don't want a Kohen. No Kohen involved. So now we have a third thing. We have bitui. Bitui, no Kohen. There is a Shevuah. and it's not mamayin. So learn from there. It's perfect. It lines up with Shevuos Eidos. We don't have to worry about a kain here. And yet it's not mammon. Who told you to learn oy from pikadon where it is monetary things? It's better to learn from pikadon. Shekain techta mit techta. Well, we saw before a second ago. It says techta techta. So we have a geshmaka. It's very similar. It has the same thing. Bitoy has a carbon oil of yored, the chatos. So does Shevuos Eidos, oil of yored. So they're very similar in that. Not the same words. Chatos is not the same words. It's the same thing within it. The same chiyuv. What? The chiyuv chatos to bring a carbon. Says Gemara Elam Istabra because I have a leimelav shekain chata here. We have a little list to make it easier. I just threw in the words on top. We're talking about Eidos. Eidos you can learn from Pikadon, which is mumminous, and Eidos you can learn from Bitui, which is not mummin. The difference is that Pikadon has 4 things that are similar to Eidos, and Bitui only has 3. So I rather learn from the one that has 4. What are the 4 things? Shekain chata. It says the word chet in the pasuk, the same thing. B'mezid. Even amazed, Pikadon is even amazed, and Eidos is even amazed. Tavi v'kafrei. So that we had already that you have to invoke a shvuah. You have to ask him for the shvuah. You have to demand the shvuah, and then he gives you a shvuah. Let's say we had yesterday. If the guy runs away from him, if the guy's chasing him in a car, beeps him, but he didn't say it with his mouth, it's not a shvuah. V'avrei. Avrei means it's in the past. This is interesting because bitui is also in the past. We learned according to one man it's in the future. But bitui, the main bitui is in the future. It says lahara or laheitiv. The main one is in the future. And it's Matzi Yontav in Utah. They're not happy. Huh? This guy is on a. I know. I told you. It's your fault.
It started in that when you get ready.
Yeah. You didn't take today? No. Okay. We'll give you a tour. Says the Gemara. Oh, I have to drink. I don't even know. I didn't make a bracha, I guess. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh b'dvaroi. I hope you didn't put it in here, like that mice with the Rebbe. The kid put it in, and then the Rebbe started behaving. Yeah. Zog the Gemara. So where I have no idea where we're holding. Oh no. So I'm talking about bitui now. Bitui is lahara laheitiv. Could be a little bit lavar. But what's eidos? Eidos is always in the avar. Eidos is testimony. I'm saying that something I saw, not something I'm going to see. You don't testify if it's something you're going to see. So that's why it's more connected to Pikadon. Adrabah, but it makes more sense to go to the left to Bitui. Why? And therefore what? It's not Maminus. Okay.
Just grew like 2 white hairs.
Okay, it's good. It's a good one, but we did it a bunch of times. You can't sing the same song every day. Shekain chatos. You bring a carbon chatos. Sheyarda. What kind? Oila v'yored. It's a different type of chatos. L'chaymesh. This is different. You don't bring a chaymesh. You don't have to add a 25% surcharge. Gemara says you're right. There's a bunch of things that are similar, but not enough. There's only 3 versus 4. I'd much rather learn from a place that's more similar because it has 4. Hanach Nefishin 4 versus 3. We're going to have the same exact thing, similar later on in the sugya. Rebbe Kiva Omer. Now we have to go back to. Here we go. Rebbe Kiva. What does Rebbe Kiva say? How do I know that she'll say this is only monetary because it says in the pasuk la'achas meila. So we're going to do 8 lines of Rebbe Kiva now, just to explain them. Then we move on to the next one, which is Rebbe Eli. Rebbe Kiva Omer, you see, like somewhere in the middle of the Amud. There's only certain things that Shevuos Eidos you're chayav for. And some are potter. Okay, so what's the case? If it's a monetary thing, chayav. Or anything else, potter. As the Gemara, who told Reb Akiva that the word la'achas means mamanis? Says the Gemara, Reb Akiva ha'oyin de Reb Eliezer samach. He's in cahoots with Reb Eliezer. Yeah? He holds like the first one. Oy oy. So if he holds like Reb Eliezer, oy oy, that we learn. Eidos from Pikadon, so why does he need the word la'achas meila? What's going on here? Oh, we're going to learn from la'achas to remove one thing that is monetary. One object, one item in the monetary column is going to come off, according to Reb Akiva. Says the Gemara, my benayu ben Reb Elazar ben Reb Akiva. If they both learn from oy oy, like the song oy oy Shabbos, then why do I need la'achas meila? If you have money, what's the most valuable thing today? Real estate. I can't think of anything that's more valuable than a piece of real estate. Yeah? Torah. Very good, very good. I said in the monetary world, I didn't say the bruchnius. You see, Zav Chesed maybe more. Okay, fine. A nice, gesunte building in Manhattan, in Dubai. $2.5 billion. If I ask you to testify about my building that it's mine, and you say no, is that money or not? So that's where the machlokes is going to be. According to Reb Eliezer, it's mamanis. You have to be. It's worth money, so it's Shevuos edus. According to Reb Akiva, it should be mamanis. You're right, but he has a pasuk that says la'achas meila. I got to remove one item. I'm going to remove the thing that's the least, that looks the least like money, which is real estate. Reb Akiva p'tur. Now the problem is, but according to Reb Yochanan, everybody holds it's not mamanis. Real estate is not mamanis. What I do? That was the question that we had yesterday. Is a penalty, like by oinus and mafata, there's a 50 shekel penalty. Is that considered mamanis or not? Because I have the ability to be moide b'knas and then I will be potter. Okay, so according to Akiva, it's not mamanis. According to Reb Eliezer, it is. Next on the list, Rabbi Eli says oira oyada. Again, balpeh. Since it says in the pasuk of here, in the pasuk of Shevuos edus, it says it doesn't say ra'av v'yada that you have to have both of those components. It's either or. Says Rabbi Eli, the only place in the world that you have either or and it would work for edus is by monetary things, not by anything else. Even if the witnesses saw and they don't know, and if they know and they don't see, should we do it real quickly? So, if Avi Kamiansky gave $1,000 to Mendy, and we all saw it, so we could testify that Avi lent money to Mendy. Why? Because Mendy says it never happened. So once he says it, we're going to see it on Amud Beis. He says it never happened, so he is a huchs of kafir. We saw it, so he's lying. Once he's lying, we're going to trust him that it was a loan. Because if he's not lying, if he says, yeah, he gave me money, but guess what? I lent him money the day before, he's just returning it. So that we trust him. So that's a re'iyah without a idea. We have no idea what happened. The idea without a re'iyah is that in front of everybody, Mendy got up and said, I borrowed $1,000 from Avi. Now, we never saw it. We didn't see it, but he told us. So that's knowledge without seeing it, that's enough. Says the Gemara. Says Reb Abayo, perhaps Reb Eli doesn't hold the Rivky, because Rivky is the one that says there's I don't know how you say it in English, circumstantial evidence. No, like a beyond of a doubt circumstantial evidence. That's enough. There must be a good way to say it in English. You have a wild male camel that basically when they mate, they go crazy. And the Rashba explains that camels have a certain sneeze, and if anybody sees them in the act, they kill them. Which reminds me of a Maisa. A guy comes into a bank, this is not Yom Kippur. Guy comes into the bank, he holds up everybody in the bank. He says, everybody on the floor right now, and if you see me, if you saw my face, I'm going to kill you. So he takes all the money and everything. As he's leaving, he goes over to one guy, he goes, I believe that you saw my face, I'm going to have to kill you. He says, I promise you I didn't see you. I did not see you, but my wife did look at you. Says the Gemara this higher. And you, okay, so there's something, look, this is not the best, but you have two males, they have this white foam coming out of the mouth, Meshuggah and Gans, and they're in a different world, and they fight, and they kill each other. We had a better one, but the editor took it out. He said there was a woman in the audience, out. Okay, so pretty soon there's like a, knocks him down over there. A powerful sound. Okay. Now, we see this guy going crazy. 2 minutes later, we see a dead camel on the ground. We all know who killed him, but we didn't see it happen. We didn't see. Yeah, it's like the cheetah. We saw the cheetah chasing, then we see a dead animal, but we didn't see the Meiser Zicha. It happens to be that we wouldn't be able to testify in court. I don't think. We saw the chase. We saw it knocked down.
Well, in a civil court, yes.
In a civil court, 100%. I'm talking about it's not even circumstantial. We saw
lifting him after.
We saw him lifting after, but we didn't see the Ritzicha.
It's not direct evidence.
We literally saw it after. We saw before, we saw it after, we saw knock him down. Okay, I don't know exactly in halacha how that will work. It's interesting. But everybody with a half a brain knows that this is the camel that's here's the killer camel. The Islay the Rivky. If you hold of this the circumstantial evidence thing, oh, check this out. This is something that took Yoshi about 6 hours. Look at this Maisa. There's a Maisa Shahaya. The Gemara says Reb Shimon ben Shetach actually saw this happening. Here it goes. You look at the knife, there's blood dripping off the knife. And you look at the guy, you see the blood dripping, and the guy's moving still. And Shimon is yelling at him. Look what happens to the snake. It's mamish murder. Something's going on there with the snake. Snake bit him. Oh. He says something like that is 6 hours. He sent me the whole, to show me how the different tries and how many times it took to do each scene. Okay, what?
Progression.
Progression, yes. Very chashuv. So it says like this. Mishkach like Reb Shimon ben Shetach. This Sanya. This mamish agata, boys agata. Enjoy. Ere Sanya Omer Reb Shimon ben Shetach. Ere ben Chama. I'll see the Geula, im loy reisi. In other words, I won't see the Geula if I didn't see. Basically, it's like he's cursing. He's saying, I swear that I saw this. This is what I saw with my own eyes. Im loy reisi echad shirotz acher chaver l'churba. Even in those days, people told him, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, you saw this, and the snake came, yeah, of course. He says, no. I won't see the Geula. A guy was chasing his friend into the ruins, and I ran after him, and I saw a sword in his hand, and blood is dripping right off the sword. It's not like the dead guy was sitting there in, what is it called, rigor mortis?
Rigor mortis, yeah.
What is it?
Rigor mortis.
Rigor mortis. It's not like the guy was there dead for a day. The guy is dying. You see the wounds. You see the blood coming out of the guy. You see the blood dripping off the knife. The guy is not even dead yet. He's dying.
He's not dead yet.
And there's nobody around. It's the middle of the midbar. V'har mefarper. He's whatever. How do you say mefarper in English? Twitching. Amarti loy. And I say to this Ritzeach guy, Rasha, mi haragel is who killed this guy? Oyani oyata. I know it's not me. It's only you. It's the two of us here. I can't kill you. I cannot kill you unless there's witnesses. The evidence here is beyond, the circumstantial evidence is beyond reasonable doubt. It's not even reasonable. The biggest, it's 99%. If you had 99%. What should I do? I can't kill you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will kill you. Amru, it says, Lo zazu misham ad shenishachain nachash b'meis. What happened was a snake came and killed him. I asked Reb Nachman Seltzer yesterday. I called him up. He didn't remember. He said, "Yeah, you remember something." He wrote the story. It's somewhat related here. MDY Kids. This is like the Yom Kippur story. There's a yeshiva bacher. He says it's a ma'aseh shekemat haya. The yeshiva bacher who was in some sort of accident and had a very hard time walking, let alone running, could barely walk, and he read a book from a guy that writes that it's mind over matter. It's all in your head, and you can heal your body through good thoughts and tell your body to heal itself. So he contacted this author and he said, "I want to meet you." Gave him a lot of chizuk. So the guy said, "Okay, I'm in some army base in America. Come to the army base." He left. He took it seriously. He left. Yeah. So I'm kidding. He left. He did leave, but not because of me. So the guy tells him, "Go to the army base. Come to the army base. I'm giving some sort of seminar there to the injured soldiers." So he goes there, and it's like a few-day thing. He's schmoozing with the guy, and the guy's explaining to him, you have to think, you have positive thoughts, the whole thing. And one day he's walking around in the army base, and he sees like a group of people sitting around in a circle, and the wrestling match. And there's two big guys, two soldiers are there, the wrestling. One guy had the other guy pinned down. He's about to win. And all of a sudden, this yeshiva bacher goes flying. You heard what I said? Get back in. Come there. Okay. Oh, you heard me saying it on there. Wow. Here, zoom in on his camera. Wow. On his phone. Look at this technology. Givalis. You are listening. I came back. Wow. Good. Nice. That's nice. I like that. Givaldik. You made up for that other thing that you did. Okay, Givaldik. So,
now he's in trouble. Now he's
yeah.
Bring him back.
All of a sudden, this yeshiva goes flying and knocks the soldier that had the pin. He knocks him, and the guy goes off. The guy gets up. He says, "What did you do? I almost beat him. I'm going to kill you." In front of the mirror, he pulls out a knife, and he starts chasing him. So the yeshiva starts running, goes around the thing, and he's running. And 2 minutes later, he goes, "Wait a minute. It doesn't make any sense. This guy's a healthy soldier. I'm a cripple, and how come he's not catching up to me? Doesn't make any sense." And he turns around, and all of a sudden, like the guy that wrote the book, he comes out and he said, "You see, it was all a setup." So he wanted to show him that if his life is in danger, he could run. Like it's something of it. Ma'aseh shekemat haya. What does that have to do with this, Mendy? You have no idea? Rotz Acharov. Okay. It's Shevuos. Rabbi says Shevuos. So it says the Gemara, no, it's mamish within Agadah here. It's Givaldik. So it says the Gemara, fine. Does anybody remember here, we had this Gemara in Sanhedrin, and the Gemara asks, why was he bitten by a snake? Snake is sreifa. You don't get sreifa for killing somebody. Anybody remember the answer? The Gemara asked the question. The Gemara says he must have done something like with a baschain or something that he's chayiv sreif on a different aveira, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu paid him for both. Afilu teime islay the Reb Achel. Even if you hold this umdana works, circumstantial evidence that's beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you would be able to kill for that, and he would hold, Reb Yosef would hold that works by ritzicha. That if you have a yediyah without a re'iyah, it would work. Let's say there's such a thing. Okay, so I have this case that a guy was running after somebody with a knife. So I have knowledge without actually seeing the act and you're chayiv. But the other part is impossible. Why? Maybe he's killing a terrorist. Maybe he killed somebody that was going to die anyways, and for that you're not chayiv misa. Fine. So what's the Gemara's answer? Tachlis, what's the Gemara's answer? It's not possible in one case, but it's possible in the other case. So, it's possible with the yediyah without a re'iyah, but it's not possible with the re'iyah without a yediyah. It's not possible to kill somebody based on evidence that witnesses saw somebody killing somebody, but they don't know what they saw. That you can't do. But you could kill somebody, even if you hold like Rivky, that you could kill somebody based on the idea, knowledge without Riyah, that you could do. So what's the Gemara's answer then?
You need both.
Why do you need both? What do you mean? You need one or the other. Oh, exactly. The pasuk says oy ra oy yada. Says Reb Eli, that pasuk must be talking about only mammon, because in mammon you can do both, either ra or yada. So ask the Gemara, but I have a case by Ritzicha that I don't need both. I could have just knowledge and I kill somebody based on knowledge. Says the Gemara, you're right. Even if you hold that you could kill somebody based on knowledge, but you don't have the flip side. You don't have only Re'iyah. And the pasuk says oy ra oy yada. So the pasuk cannot be talking about Ritzicha. The pasuk must be talking about only mammonis. So the Gemara says, Shema Minot, you see from here, based on this logic, because somebody must be a diknas butter. What if there's somebody that saw that somebody's ma'an is someone, and the father says, listen, that guy owes me 50 shekel. I want you to testify that you saw it. And he says, no. You see from here that you're potter. Why? Because if you'd be chayav, it's possible that you, the same exact thing. You saw a man chasing a woman into a churva, and you know that she's a psula before, she's not a psula after. But you didn't see what happened inside the churva. So it's the same exact case as ritzicha. So you have a yediyah without a riyah. So you're right, it works. But it wouldn't work on the flip side. Riyah below yediyah below yediyah made the goya baal. You don't know, you don't have the knowledge. So you only saw the act, but you don't have the information. Maybe she's a goya. Maybe she's a Bas Yisrael baal. Maybe she's a psula baal, bulalei baal. Maybe she's a baula. Psula baal, bula baal. Maybe the only time you chayiv a knas is if she's a psula, not a bula. You don't know. You don't have information. Without information, you can't be mechayiv. But mela, oy ra, oy yoda cannot be going on knas. Can only go on regular mammonis. Yosef Rav Amnuna came to Rav Yehuda. Excuse me. Yosef Rav Amnuna came to Rav Yehuda. Yosef Rav Yehuda come to Boyle, and he asked him a question. So now we're doing that whole thing over again. It's chazara. The what? Avi gave $1,000 to Mendy. And the Edim see him from the outside. In other words, the loiva guy, Mendy, has no clue that Edim are looking at him. They're watching him. Mai. Amalei Rav Amnuna, so Rav Amnuna answers him. And what does the other guy say? And if Mendy denies it completely, he says, I never received any money from Avi, who's a kafir? So we know that Mendy's a liar. And Memela, of course, Mendy should be chayiv to Avi the money. And Yomar, in Shakli, but if he says, yes, he doesn't even know that Edom are watching. And he's a good guy. He's saying the truth. He's saying, I took the $1,000. But you know what? He owed it to me. He also Edom Avi. So what if Edom testified that Avi gave money to Mendy? Mendy already explained it away. You shall come up here to yeshiva. In other words, you're great. This is exactly the pshat. If he denies it completely, we trust the Eidim. If he doesn't deny it and he admits to what happened, then we don't trust the Eidim. Daf Yomi Amud Beis sponsor. We have a special sponsor today. Turning to the Daf Kidnovations in honor of our sons Kalma and Yisrael for learning Sanhedrin, Makis, and Shevuos with Reb Eli. And here it is, Adar Global, going global to be mechazik MDY Chevra on the East Coast. See you there. So, Ari Simon, you must have noticed that it's slightly quiet today. So he flew to America and he wants to be mechazik. He's going to go from place to place over there. He's going to Flatbush to, what is it called? Merchovich. What is it called over there? Manitrovich? Manistritz. He's going there. Reb Eli, say something. We miss you. Say something. Put the volume on. Gary, put the volume on. We hear he's already there.
Be safe.
I want to hear the subway. Oh! You know what every day.
What line is it?
Don't show any, no vibers. We're going to have to, I want to hear the subway. No, just one time. The mic.
Sound's not on.
So we heard it for a second. Lafayette doors closing now. You remember that? Oh, yeah, the New York subway.
1 a.m.
F train. I took the F train every single day.
It's 1 a.m.
It's 1 a.m. You're the subway's jam packed at 1 a.m. The city that never sleeps. Ve'edim ro'yin my. Rabbi Isai, R Simon saves money by taking the train and donates it to MDY. Look at that. It's not Here's a guy that donated $50,000 this year to MDY and he takes the subway at 1 a.m. Givaldik. You know what? MDY should sponsor a Uber or something. I don't. We can't afford him getting hurt over there in the subway. Oh, there's one more. Anonymous, in honor of Mark Ashkenazi, enough said.
It's the AirTran. It's not the subway.
Oh, it's AirTran in the airport. Are you sure? But it sounded. It sounded good. Maybe he was making that sound. Okay. He's catching it live.
You were saying somewhere he was nodding. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Time out. Oh, he's Israeli. He doesn't do it, but he landed in America on Motzei Yontif. Wow, it's very okay. What happened? Oh, we said this already. I have a friend that told me, a Maisa Shahoya, that he goes into his backyard and he sees a sign that has Ashiyotzer on it. So he asked the Vadabayit, why did you put up a sign here? So the guy says, every day a guy comes from the bus stop, he comes to the backyard and does this thing. Might as well be.
There used to be no tree there. Now there's a tree.
I gave you $1,000 right here by this beam. I have no idea what you're talking about. I never went by this beam over here. I didn't go by this beam. Also, the two Edom came. He relieved himself right there by that beam. So he's a liar. So says the Gemara, Omer Shlakish, you know, a quick story. I got to tell you this quick story. There was an Avreich. You know, Avreichim. I have the opportunity to be with them. I have an Avreich that his whole budget we asked him to come. His whole budget for his family, for Ben Azmanim, for this, it was like 200 shekel. That was the whole budget. I'm serious. My show you, zero. They have nothing. Avreich, you can understand. Then I put myself into this guy's. It's Avreich takes his family up north. He figured it out. He's going to take a bunch of. He's going to take tramps from here to there, and he's going to this. Kitzer, he has like 150 shekel on him. Before I met my wife, I was never in a restaurant. I myself was never in a restaurant. Well, I shouldn't say never. Somebody once took me out, but I went with my wife. I didn't know how to order. I looked at the menu. I was like, "What do you?" I had to pretend, and she saw that. Yeah, it's all good. Whatever you want, you order. Kids are one of those. Here's a mishpacha never in a restaurant in their life. They can't afford a restaurant. For a restaurant. So this is one of his kids had to go to the bathroom really badly. He's by a restaurant. He looks. He walks in. He asks the lady there, the maitre d', if they could use the bathroom. She looks around. She says, "Yeah, go." Goes into the bathroom. He comes out. The manager jumps and says, "What are you doing? You're just going to come in here and use my bathroom? What are you stam or this?" He's a Talmud of Avram Genachovsky, and it's all about midas. And he looks at he was about to say, but she gave me permission, and he sees that she's turning colors, and that he realized that she wasn't allowed to give him that permission. So he had a kar satayv to her because she kind of broke the rule for him, and he didn't want to throw her under the bus. So he tells the guy, "Look, I was going to eat here. What do you mean? My family's outside. Just real quick, but we're going to sit and eat it. We're going to eat here." So, sorry. Kids, he goes out. He tells his family they're going to the restaurant. They're jumping up and down. They sit down. The whole thing. And this woman, this maitre d', she starts crying. She tells, so the guy, the manager says, "Why are you crying?" She said, "I thought that this guy didn't want to eat here. And he only did it so that I don't get into trouble." She tells him the whole story, that she gave him permission. And so the guy says, "The meal's on me." He goes to the guy and says, "I'm giving you a free meal." Free meal. All right. This has everything to do with the sugya because they had to go to the bathroom over there. Omer Shlokish. Who's a kafron? Masculine of Nachman.
It's a good story.
Hi Dina Parso. This is what you're saying makes zero sense. Did the guy say, I never passed this beam? Basically, he said, I don't know. You're telling me you lent me money by the beam. I don't know about the beam. Of course, he walks by that beam every day. What he was trying to say is, I didn't do a deal by the beam. Some say, same story. I gave you $1,000 by that beam. Oh, so over here they stick in the word ma'ilam. Never in my life. So then come Adam and say, no, you were there, you did your business by this beam. Or Rav Nachman, who's like Afron? That's a liar because he said he was never there. Rav Nachman, and so somebody else, not Rav Nachman asking over it's Rav asked Rav Nachman, something that's important to a person. Everybody in this room probably remembers exactly where they were and what they were doing when they found out that the Twin Towers fell, right? Everybody remembers exactly, the other generation was when Kennedy was assassinated. Certain things, when it's important, when it's life-altering, you remember where you are. You remember. There's things that are not important. Exactly where I went to the bathroom, beyond plenty, what I did, what I didn't do. They asked Moshe Feinstein, how do you remember so much Torah? He says, if you saw a bird lifting up a building, would you remember it? Yeah. Every piece of Torah is like that for me. It's just everything is amazing. I remember it. Fine. Reb Shimon Oimer, Chiev kan v'chiev v'kadim. So Reb Shimon says, first he says a kavachomer. If Shevuos HaPikadon is much lighter than Shevuos HaEidus. Why? Because it's kosher by Noshim and by Proivim and Psulim. And then we add a pircha. What's a pircha? Oh, Pikadon is different. So says the Gemara, Mechachu ala b'marava. So just to remind everybody, who's Mechachu ala b'marava? Who? So for that you have to go to Sanhedrin Daf Yud Zayin, and you go to the Monopoly game. And over there it says, Mechachu ala b'marava. It's Rabbi Yossi bar Chanina. Stop, idea. Mechachu ala b'marava. They made fun of this. What did they make fun? Oh, Pikadon is different. Why? Because over there, if somebody invokes a shvuah, it doesn't work. You have to do it by yourself. And over there, if you're amazed, you don't have to bring a carbon by Pikadon. Ask the Gemara, check this out. I'm going to remind you, and everything is going to be beautiful. Remember the sugya? How do you know? Shevuos HaEidus doesn't say anything in Mipi Atzmai. It talks about Acherim. Shevuos HaPikadon doesn't say anything about Acherim. It only says Mipi Atzmai. So the Gemara says, since there's a Gzeir Shava, you learn one from the other. I'll remind you, if you do Doimi Nomina, we're not going into Doimi Nomina, so don't even worry about it. But you learn Mipi Atzmai from Pikadon to Eidus. Oh, so says the Gemara, how do I know Atzmai in Eidus? I learned it from Pikadon. So let's say the Gemara says, let's do the reverse. We already did this in that sugya. Remember? Shevuos HaEidus does come with the Pi Acherim. Shevuos Pikadon doesn't have a Pi Acherim. So you ask me, oh, it's different. They're not different. So learn it. Here. Why shouldn't you learn it? It goes both. Gzeir Shava goes both ways. If I'm going to learn Pikadon to Eidus, I'm going to learn Eidus to Pikadon. They have the same words. I learned these halachas there, and I learned these halachas there. So just learn Mipi Acherim. Shevuos Pikadon. What? Oh, says Gemara. We should learn Acherim from Eidos. What's so funny about that? You're right, Gzeir Shava could go both directions. A Kavachomer only goes in one direction. Why does a Kavachomer go in one direction? Because one is more severe than the other. That's Kal and a Chomer. It only goes in the one direction. The Chomer should be more than the Kal. What's the Kavachomer? Mepi Acherim Chayav. And just think about it logically. If somebody can invoke a shvuah to me, can't I do it myself? Of course I can do it myself. But that's only one way. I can't go the other way around. Okay, so then what's so funny? What's funny is that we said that Pikadon doesn't have it, you're not chayiv when you do it on purpose. That's funny. Why? How do I even know that if you do it on purpose, you're chayiv a carbon by Shevuos HaEidus? All the psukim around there, it says the word v'nelam that you forgot. And by Shevuos HaEidus it doesn't. So even if you don't forget, you do it on purpose, deliberately, you're chayiv a carbon. Says Gemara, for the same reason, by Pikadon. By Pikadon doesn't say v'nelam. Why is that funny? Dilma mezid lav kishogi b'pikodim mimi'ila. Oh, I have a mefurish. Look at this, beautiful. By Bikodim it says the word umalo mal. By mi'ila, when you use something from the Beis Hamikdash, it says simal mal. And over there, look what it says in the pasuk. B'chata bishgaga. It's only on by accident, not on purpose. So I'm going to learn Bikodim from mi'ila. Reb Shimon Gamarla. Oh, v'hainu chuchan. That's why it's so funny. At the Gamarla mi'ila, why would you learn Bikodim from mi'ila? Nigmar lama eidos. It's learn it from something similar that's a shvuah. Says Gemara, no. Mistaber mi'ila have a lein l'meilav shekem mi'ila mi'ila. They use very, very similar words. Mal mal, simal mal. Says Gemara, Adi Rabba made this have a lein l'meilav shekem techta metechta. Now we had the other drasha techta here. Techta. Says Gemara, Mistabra mi'ila have a lein l'meilav shekem mi'ila b'koil nano b'kavua. Choymish v'asham. Oh, so we're doing the same exact thing all over again. I have Pikadon and I have Eidos. Pikadon I can learn from Mi'ila, which is Shoygig. But I could also learn Pikadon from Eidos, which is also amazing. So we do one of these. It's 6 against 5, and it wins. 6 wins. So let's just do it quickly. First of all, it says the word Mila. Bakal means it applies to all human beings. You don't have to be kosher like by Eidos, that you have to be kosher. Nehena, Mila is something that you benefit, you enjoy. Pikadon, you stole a goldfish, you made gefilte fish, it's something that you benefit. By Eidos, you don't have enjoyment. B'kavua, it has one carbon. It's not a carbon oil of yard like by Eidos. It's a one carbon. V'asham, and you have to bring. Choymesh, you have to add 25%. V'asham, you have to bring asham. So the Gemara Adarabba Eidos have a leilu meilach. Shikein chet hedyoid. The lashon is the same. Hedyoid. It's belongings that belong to a private person, b'shvua, and it's a shvua. Tavi v'kafrei, somebody has to demand the shvua and you deny it. V'oyin, and we have the word zayin. Hanav levision, 6 against 5 is better. Elamai choch, so what's so funny? Because Rav Amri, right? It's Gzeir Shava. Lamali the Parach. So why did he shlug up the Kavachomer? He has Gzeir Shava. So why didn't he just use the same Gzeir Shava to help out his Kavachomer? That what? Mali because she can't lay also by Mushba Kinishba, Mezik Shaygig. What do you mean? Once you have a Gzeir Shava, everything is the same. It's mazed by Pikadon. It's Mushba Kinishba. But why is that funny? Dilma kiparach mikamei to take like Gzeir Shava. He wanted to do Kavachomer without Gzeir Shava. He wanted to prove himself with the Kavachomer. You can't mix two things up. He wanted to say, I can learn this out from Kavachomer without any help. Says Gemara, Basa the like Gzeir Shava le parach. Dilma kiparach mikamei to take like Gzeir Shava. Basa the like Gzeir Shava le parach. At the end of the day, once he has a Gzeir Shava, there's no shayla. Who says that there's no zodain, there's no mezid by a pikadon? Reb Shimoni. So you see that even after the Gzeir Shava, he doesn't learn everything one from the other. There's no mezid by pikadon. You should learn from Shevuos Eidos that there is mezid. Says the Gemara, Dilma mezid k'shaygig par. Should we stop here? Yeah. Hold on. I wanted to go to the Mishnah, but okay. We'll have to stop mamish in the middle of a sugya. We'll just go back real quickly. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the Zechus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.